thank you, everybody, for joining us as we hold a moment preparing for service. Mahalo keakua. Thank you, God, for the blessings of the day and the enlightenment to share to the world. Unity of Kona, we bless. Thank you, God. Mahalo keakua. And so it is. Aku mau mau, aku mau mau pa, for hey ho my, hey ho my, hey ho my, hey ho my ika iki mai luna mai, ona mea huna no awe mele hey ho my, hey ho my. E ho mai, ka iki mai luna mai, ona mea huna no, awe mele e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai, ka iki mai luna mai, ona mea huna no, awe mele Good morning and welcome, Unity of Kona. And as we start with the AOMI prayer chant, what an honor it is to be sitting here helping out with the platform. And as we start off with the AOMI prayer chant is the beseeching of the Great Spirit with the AOMI and our ancestors that dwell with that Great Spirit. As we beseech for the wisdom of the stories being told, a little higher octave, why we be telling these stories to our children, a kauna, a meaning, a reason for telling the stories. And then the highest octave, beseeching them all for the wisdom of life experiences that become our stories. With the knowledge of lessons learned, we don't have to repeat things over and over again. We set down all grievances and stones. And then with Eala, the dawning of a new day, we don't have to pick up any of those grievances and stones. And every day we get a chance to do better in life. And so it is. Mahalo keakua. Thank you, God. Amen. And as we get started, I'm going to pass the platform off to Cindy. Please welcome Cindy Avenger.
And welcome, everybody. It's so good to be back with you today. Could we all stand so we could do our affirmation, our vision statement, and our mission statement together, please? Okay, affirmation. I live in the divine alignment, guided by spirit through purpose, silence, meditation, and prayer. And our vision statement is a world family of oneness, peace, and love. And our mission statement is to inspire spiritual growth and service through the active practice of love, prayer, faith, joy, and honoring everyone as a child of God. Yay. Now, if you could keep standing for our opening song, which is Ho'oponopono. Did I do it? Yay. Okay, close enough.
forgiving, living life, it feels so unfulfilling. Ever have the feeling like you just want to get away? There is an answer to the madness, the old Hawaiian way. You got to ho'oponopono day and night. Ho'oponopono gonna make things right. Let a little love into your heart. You got to ho'oponopono throughout the day. Ho'oponopono the Hawaiian way. Love and forgiveness is a start. You've got to open up your heart. Let a little love in. It'll put a big smile on your face. You've got to open up your heart. Let a little love in. It'll put a big smile on your face. Some days things just don't seem to be going right. Everything you're doing just puts up a fight. You got some bad feelings that don't want to go away. There is an answer to the madness, the old Hawaiian way. You got to ho'oponopono day and night. Ho'oponopono gonna make things right. Let a little love into your heart. You got to ho'oponopono throughout the day. Ho'oponopono the Hawaiian way. Love and forgiveness is a start. To open up your heart, let a little love in. It'll put a big smile on your face. You've got to open up your heart, let a little love in. It'll put a big smile on your face. Ho'oponopono day and night. Ho'oponopono gonna make things right. Let a little love into your heart. You got to ho'oponopono throughout the day. Ho'oponopono the Hawaiian way. Love and forgiveness is a start. You got to ho'oponopono all day long. Ho'oponopono gonna make you strong.
Oh, yeah. Mahalo. Let's take a moment here in the sanctuary, greet one another as we get moving here to the next.
And now it's time to welcome our guests. So if this is the first time you've come here or you haven't been here for a long time and you're comfortable with it, we'd love it if you'd stand up and tell us your name and where you're from. Is there anybody? No? Okay. Well, we're still thrilled that we're all here, right? So let's bless each other with aloha and God bless you. Yes. We're so good we're here. For our announcements today, we always like to remind you that if you have a prayer request, there is a form on the back table that you can fill out, and it will be prayed over here, and then we'll send it to silent unity, not quiet unity, silent unity. And they will pray for your request for 30 days. And we really believe in prayer. We've all seen amazing things happen through our prayers and our meditation, right? It's a powerful thing. And now Patrick's going to come and go for it on the rest of the announcements. Thank you, Patrick.
Good morning, everybody. So we want to congratulate Lauren Wilkin, our team member of the month. Thank you so much, Lauren. Mahalo, Lauren, for your loving service to our spiritual center. We're so blessed to have you here at Unity of Kona. Lauren plays music for services on the second Sunday of the month, as you may have noticed. And he brings food for fellowship on the Unity of Kona's Minister Search Committee. Lauren, your can-do attitude, willingness to offer needed support, and share your time and energy and talents is greatly appreciated. You're a bright and shining light, and we're grateful for your spirit of aloha and loving service. Thank you. Some of our ohana are in need of food items. Please bring foods that do not require refrigeration or much cooking, such as canned or packaged dry goods. The box at the top of the stairs labeled Hawaii Food Basket will be used to collect these items. Mahalo nui. Reverend Sophia, with great joy in her heart, will be reaching out personally to connect with Unity of Kona members. If you're not a member and you'd like to schedule a one-on-one conversation, there's a sign-up sheet in the back of the sanctuary. Add your name to it, or feel free to send an email to unityofkona@gmail.com with minister call in the subject line. Kindly include your name, number, and the best days and times to reach you. Join us on Sunday, June 22nd at 12 noon following fellowship for the Spiritual Gifts Workshop, where you will reconnect with your true self, identify your unique expression, and discern your individual spiritual gifts. Reverend Sophia will be leading this workshop via Zoom, so you can either remain after fellowship here in the sanctuary or connect via Zoom from your home. Many have already signed up for the workshop, and you will be receiving an email from Reverend Sophia with a pre-workshop spiritual gifts inventory for you to complete prior to the workshop. If you have not yet signed up, you may still do so. There's a sign-up sheet in the back of the sanctuary, or email unityofkona@gmail.com with spiritual gifts in the subject line. This is being offered on a love offering basis. And wonderful. And Reverend Sophia will lead the Metaphysics 4 class beginning Friday, June 27th from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time. You can join whether or not you took any of the previous classes. This is an online course, so you can join from anywhere. We study the creative process, the metaphysical basis for wholeness and health, and the metaphysical basis for prosperity. The sign-up sheet is at the back of the sanctuary, or again, you can email unityofkona@gmail.com with metaphysics class in the subject line. This is also offered on a love offering basis. Unity's next circulation day and bake sale is on Saturday, June 28th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in the sanctuary. So gather your slightly used items and bring them before or after service, or at 8 a.m., 1 hour before our doors open on Saturday the 28th, to be added to our tables. There's a sign-up sheet being passed around if you would like to participate in the bake sale. If you have any questions about Circulation Day, see Kayla. For the bake sale, see Elaine. Volunteers are needed to set up on Friday evening at 6 p.m. and take down on Saturday at 1 p.m. Your assistance is appreciated. Today at noon, we have our crystal healing service. We hope you all can stay and join us after fellowship. Ukulele Monday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m., led by Dondi here in the sanctuary. From beginner to experts, bring your ook. Some are available to use. Come, learn, play, and share. For our regular weekly and monthly events, there's a flyer on the small table at the back of the sanctuary. Feel free to pick one up. And as you know, it takes a village to run our spiritual center, and we appreciate everyone. Unity of Kona depends on the loving hands and hearts of each of us, and we are sincerely asking for your support. Please consider giving at least just 1 to 4 hours a month of your time. Right now, in addition to financial support, we are in deep need of Sunday greeters, platform assistants, and audiovisual assistants. New sign-up sheets are on the side table at the back of the sanctuary. If you would like to read the Sunday Daily Word, please add your name to that sign-up sheet. The refreshment sign-up sheet is upstairs. Your support is absolutely essential, and we thank you in advance from the bottom of our hearts. Mahalo.
Thank you, Patrick. Lots going on here. Make sure you get it on your calendar so you don't miss anything. Right now, I've asked our friend Gail to come and read the daily word. So let's welcome her. Yay, Gail.
Morning, everyone. The theme, right? Close? Okay. The theme today is kindness. Today I will be kind to others. When I think of being kind, I am reminded of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It takes only a moment and no special effort to be kind. I can smile at a stranger, hold the door open for a person behind me, or let someone go ahead of me in line. These small acts of kindness bless everyone involved. Other kind efforts may take more thought. I think of how I prefer to be treated. I certainly want to be heard and respected. I want to know my views and opinions matter. I want others to see my value and treat me with dignity. I hold this thought as I think of others. I see people embedded with the Spirit of God. Kindness flows from me to bless others. And from Proverbs 21:21, whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life and honor. So will you repeat after me? Hey, I will be kind to others.
And the day after, and the day after that, and the day after that, right? I mean, it just takes a simple smile, doesn't it? It's just a gift you can give away. A simple smile. Kindness is a wonderful thing. And it just keeps moving down, you know, it's just awesome. Okay, right now, we're going to imagine our sanctuary as a heart. This is a part of the service that I dearly love. So if you want to take a deep breath, maybe close your eyes and relax. And start to visualize our sanctuary as a beautiful, beautiful heart. Feeling the loving energy of those around you flowing in and through you. See that loving flowing around every person here in the sanctuary and spreading out to every person, every being on this earth and in this world. If there are any events or circumstances in your life or anyone you know in need of prayer, see them in the center of this most beautiful, loving heart. As we say the prayer of protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Well, right now we get to have our dear, favorite, wonderful Kayla come. She is a former president of the Board of Trustees here and is a licensed mental health counselor, motivational speaker, and a quantum healing hypnotist, technique practitioner. She has recently heard the call to work towards a licensed Unity teacher certification. So we are so thrilled to have her each month as she comes to speak to us this morning on silence. So be quiet.
All right. Let's get ourselves comfortable for a meditation. There we go. Gently close your eyes, if that feels good. And allow your body to settle in your seat. Let your shoulders drop, your hands rest, your breath soften, shifting its own state of rest and pause. When you're ready, take a long, slow inhale and gentle exhale. Let your breath guide you into this moment. With each slow breath, feel yourself arriving here and now, shifting away from thoughts of the outside world for a moment. We settle into a gentle mental alertness. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, just being in this moment. To allow any lingering thoughts to shift with ease, we simply affirm within, I am one with Spirit. I am one with Spirit. I am one with Spirit. Resting in the pause, in the presence, there is a deep peace we are just beginning to touch. It is here in this sacred silence that you remember you are never truly separate or alone. You are one and part of pure oneness. As you rest in this moment, let yourself be nourished by this quiet stillness. Let the pause wash over you like a gentle tide, connecting back with Source or true nature. You can be renewed from the inside out. You are invited in this moment to rest and simply receive. Just for a few moments, let's rest in stillness and listen within this connected pause. Having touched the silence, you can come back carrying that peace with you today. As we gently bring ourselves back into our bodies with an inhale and an exhale, feeling your body once more, wiggling your fingers and toes, Stretching as needed, coming back into this place, opening our eyes when we're ready, and back into presence together. Just a moment to renew. Thank you so much, Lauren. All right, back into this presence. We are back on our Heart-Centered Metaphysics series, and this week our chapter is about the silence. I have to tell you, when I first heard that my chapter was going to be the silence, I thought, oh no, that is not my forte. The silence? What do you mean the silence? I have heard many times coming out of a meditation that I am the mouthpiece. That makes sense to me. I'm great at filling the space. I'm really good at talking and expressing. So I thought, the silence, what? It wasn't until I went back and reread the chapter again, and I realized, yes. Okay, just like an instrument, all mouthpieces need input, and they need life breathed into them. And that is exactly what we're talking about here with this silence. It's actually a deeper concept, and the silence is a far more than just the absence of sound. It is a sacred state of stillness. And in fact, our text says that it is the most important subject in unity, the most simple, yet also the most advanced. The silence describes both a practice and a state of consciousness. It's actually a state of non-awareness. It's a method with which we go within and connect. We, in this state, receive creativity, insights, and rejuvenation. As we turn away from the world of the senses, from our own ego and personality, and any error thoughts that we may have brought with us, we instead turn towards our natural state, our state of divinity. I listened to a talk one time. Thank goodness for social media. I listened to a talk by Reverend Michael Gott, and if anyone has heard of him, he's a great speaker and also a great piano player and singer. And he speaks, I believe, at the Unity of Houston, Texas. And he did a little talk, and he was talking about his Roomba. And he said his Roomba's a really great little item. It does its job really well most of the time. And every once in a while, it gets kind of stuck in a corner, and it just starts ramming into the wall, and it cannot get itself out. So he's got to go over and rescue and lift it up and just redirect its energy. And he says that he had to admit that he realized in one of those moments that he too was very much like the Roomba, that at times he can be running into a wall with his own thoughts. And he too, just like the rest of us, needs sometimes a gentle lift, pickup, and redirection. And this is what the silence will do from us. Though not as directly as physically picking up your Roomba, and without as many words, in fact, the silence is beyond thought, beyond words, beyond prayer. It is a place of pure beingness, a centering and a reconnecting, and a meeting space with the divine. It is a conscious union. Myrtle Fillmore said that it is the place where soul meets God. And see, that's the purpose of this awareness, is to become aware of God as principle, the spiritual universe. We allow our limitations, the thoughts, the illusions to fall away and become conscious of our unification with God, that we are of the same nature as God, and that we bring that back from that state into our sense consciousness, into our daily lives. So we notice it as this bridge coming in and through us. The bridge of the superconscious, the consciousness of God mind, to our own personal consciousness. And it opens up new avenues, just like picking up that Roomba, getting it out of the corner. It opens us. It takes us out of that box we were stuck in. And when we are able to shut down that sense consciousness for a little bit, to quiet the human input, we've turned on the valve to receive from the input of spirit. I don't know if anybody else feels this way or has noticed, but we seem to be far more overstimulated, connected to technology, and busy than we have ever been as a society and as a whole. We have multiple devices. We have ways that people can contact us immediately. We have so many passwords, we can't keep them straight. Or is that just me? There's a lot to remember. There's a lot to focus on. There are a lot of separate bills. There's a lot of people contacting you. It's very easy to get immersed in this here and now sense consciousness of physicality. It's then easy to lose track of the spiritual realm, our real nature. So we need to take moments to unplug, disconnect, and it takes more intentional thought. So what we do is we try to reduce the stimuli, reduce the sound, the movement, the input from the outside to receive input within. Now, scientifically, we found that this is an incredibly helpful thing. You know, they've actually done research on moments of silence. And they found that when you put in as little as 10 minutes of silence, and it doesn't have to be continuous, if you put in these moments of silence, studies have shown that it reduces stress, blood pressure and heart rate, improves mood, relaxation, increases our creativity, our immune function, and improves our sleep and heightens our awareness. That's literally just moving in moments of silence where you are sitting without sound and no input. We haven't even added any spiritual elements. Just that silence is incredibly powerful. So it validates exactly what we're talking about here today. Scientifically, silence is good. For those who have come to the meditation group here with Sean, you know that everybody experiences this moment very differently. And sometimes we struggle, and sometimes it's magical. And I enjoy when I have moments of visions. I like imagery. I like symbols. It's fun. And I will follow those images. And I'll sometimes go down that rabbit hole and hop along. And don't get me wrong, I love images. It's very fun. It's like a waking dream. And there's so much for me to process. And I also realize that I am engaged and processing much of that time. Though not wrong, a great way to experience it. I would say in the last 3 or 4 times, I have had this sort of different experience where I have let the images come and I have not chased them, which has been interesting. And I have found moments of pure presence. Nothing is happening. And though there's a part of me that wants to chase something happening, I want to see things, understand things, get insights right then, right now. In that pause, that silence, when we've come out, I have felt the most renewed in those moments. And it's taken me a while to get to that space, that non-expectation space, that non-engaged space. And it's been really fascinating and enjoyable. And it then dawned on me that that has been incredibly helpful in my waking life as well. That actually I have spent much of, that was supposed to be, we're talking about the meditation, yes, we're all together. Next image. I have spent many years throughout my life calming that inner talker. You might not know now, but when I was younger, I was quite shy. Can you believe it? I had a lot of social anxiety. I was afraid of doing a lot of things. In fact, I had to be coaxed into calling the pizza man because I wasn't sure what I was going to say or what questions they were going to have. And I was ready not to have pizza because I didn't want to use the phone and I didn't want to interact with this other person. How silly is that? All children want pizza. What was my problem? So I had a lot of this inner voice speaking to me, which is not wrong, but it would often say anxious and fearful things. So it took me a while first to notice that speaker and its impact, and then to help calm her. And I noticed one of the ways in which this came through as like a, hey, maybe we could get this under control, is that as a baby therapist, when we were first practicing, we do a lot of supervision. And you tell somebody how it went, and you describe the session, and then you get ready for the next so many. And I found that I was planning every activity in advance of the session. And in fact, then doing so, I was listening for my opening. And I was waiting to direct the thing with what I thought we should be doing at that moment. And I will tell you, it was not very effective or helpful for either of us. It just wasn't working out. And it was a time I had a supervisor tell me, how much are you talking in your head? Are you talking while someone else is talking? I don't know. Oh, shoot. Maybe I am. Oh, my God. And so it took practice. It took years of practice to just be silent as someone else is speaking and know that the right thought will come. That I don't need to have anything even happening inside of my mind at all. And that would be okay. And now it's a more natural state. That's how I operate. I am not intending anything. When you're talking to me, I am just present. Might take me a moment to figure out what it is that I'm experiencing or what's coming to me. But I'm leaving space. And in leaving that space, I find that I get all sorts of intuitive hits. The examples I come up with were often perfectly fitting. I'll say something after a conversation like, if it happens and you leave your socks on the floor and your spouse is really upset and you get into this, I wonder if you try, and the person will say, how did you know that happens all the time? That's exactly what we fight about. Now, a lot of us fight about socks, let's be honest. There are socks being left out all the time. But we get intuitive hits. We get intuitive hits all the time if we leave space. And it's about leaving that space so we can get out of the way and spirit can get in there. In fact, there are several studies done in 2014 about the connection between boredom and creativity. They took several groups of people and they'd put some into the group where they would do all of these tedious, repetitive tasks. So for 15 minutes, they would do things like rewrite numbers out of the phone book. Just writing numbers. The other group would do something very creative, like they would draw a picture or paint something. And then afterwards, they would measure their divergent thinking. Divergent thinking, for example, would be like, how many uses do I have for this item here? How many could you think of? And you might say, well, I could click it, I could put it as a paperweight, I could use it as a block in some other blocks, I could. And they found that the people who were doing these repetitive tasks, the people in the boring group, the boredom, they had way more ideas. They thought about deconstructing this plastic cup they used. Deconstructing the plastic cup and what we could use with the plastic. And actually, they repeated these studies over and over again. And they found that the more mundane, the more simple the task, the more creative and the more ideas the people could have afterwards. Kind of intriguing, isn't it? So when we think about this, it reminds us that forcing things is not the way. In fact, we may find meditation, stillness boring, uncomfortable. It's difficult when we're used to having a phone or a device or something next to us. But if we leave that space, it's a space we can get inspired thought that can arise just outside of that. So you can have an informal, brief practice of this. There are so many ways to experience the silence, as we've heard from these studies. It doesn't always have to be a formal meditation practice, though we do experience the silence through meditation. It doesn't have to look formal in any way. You can sit and watch the sunset, the horizon. You can pause in the parking lot before going in to your appointment. Just take a moment. Sit on a chair in the hallway between your kitchen and your living room just for a moment. Just to shut your eyes. Just for a moment of that space. In her healing letters, Myrtle Fillmore wrote, "God is this eternal life that we make into living. Each day you should spend a period of stillness where the soul may gather sustaining power and restoring life." In this way, we are plugging back in to Source. She's encouraging us to take a moment to plug back into our true Source. So it's less about how we do this, and it's more about allowing the disconnect. Now, I know that a lot of us like steps, but how? So there are just a few steps you could take, and the first step in reaching the silence is just to be still, like we're doing right now. In fact, I joked with Patrick and said, well, the silence, I thought about just standing up there and being silent for 20 minutes. We could do that as an experiment. And then I said, I'm sure that would be very uncomfortable for everyone. And we would wonder, what the heck's going on? Because it can be uncomfortable. But it's good for us to still ourselves. Psalms 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." So be still and simply focus on oneness. If you need a focus to enter, focus on this oneness, this connection and recentering. The only other real important step, other than stillness, is to listen. It's just to listen. Unlike prayer, meditation is all about listening, just being present. It's not about focusing our mind specifically. It's more about disengaging and letting go. It's about practicing spiritual receptivity. We do a lot of asking. Are you receiving? Are you allowing yourself just to be in a state of receptivity to receive what Spirit has for you? The more we focus in this space, the more we recognize our true nature, and the more we can truly instill this feeling of oneness. And in the process, error thoughts are eliminated. We are renewed, and our awareness is filled with truth. But those error thoughts, the thoughts that I am not enough, that is not okay, that we won't make it, and there's a lack, they are not eliminated by trying to eliminate them. In fact, they are silenced by the law of substitution. So we work with our mind in these states. We know that the silence is hard sometimes. It's hard to quiet that part of us that's so rooted in this world. So we interest the mind in something else. We engage mindfulness by recognizing our senses, feeling the sensations in the body as it sits, recognizing the breath, intentional relaxation, feeling that tightness in our body release, tensing and releasing. We practice listening, using our ears to really hear. And we might use small phrases to allow ourselves to really anchor in, like we did during our meditation today. You could use a brief mantra or phrase. In our book, they suggest things like, peace, be still. I am Christ. Or simply, Om. And if your thoughts run away with you, just allow yourself in those moments to repeat your mantra, to bring yourself back into that space. And then be ready to let that go too. Let it all fall away. Because this is a time to just rest in God. No more words, no more efforts. In fact, the silence is the means and the goal. That means it's both the way to get there and the entire intent. That's the entire intent to the path to spiritual attainment, is being in the silence, the letting go. We are looking for a state of gentle mental alertness. So we're not falling asleep. If you fall asleep, that's okay. It must mean you're tired. Go take a nap. You can give yourself that too. But the intention is to be just alert, gently, lightly, lovingly. And that physical stillness is the gateway to stilling the mind. But ironically, we are reminded that that does not happen. Oh, she's such a nice, lovely person. I forgot about her. Look at her and her stillness. It's so lovely. Just go with it. And see, she doesn't look like she's trying so hard, does she? She's just relaxing and she's enjoying it. That's what we want. Because we don't want to have to focus so hard. That's less of the intent. James Dillett Freeman says, remember, you can't fight your way through to God. You can only let go and let God. But isn't that us most of the time? So like my new revelations in the meditation group, we remember that things are not to be sought or strained for. You don't have to follow anything or try to get something from it. And you're not doing it wrong if you don't feel anything or you don't have a great insight in that moment. In fact, our author describes in the book that trying and straining is the antithesis of oneness. We don't have to try to be what we are. We just are. And we can just accept that. So try not to try so hard. That urgency is counterproductive. We simply relax. Let the body be in the moment, letting go of any tension and forgetting about time. Don't worry about how long are you doing this. I would set my timer very frequently when I'm doing A Course in Miracles. They tell you things like 15 minutes of this or meditate for 20 minutes on this. And I noticed that the timer has been one of my biggest impediments because I'm wondering, am I close? Am I not close? Is this long enough? Am I deep enough? Is it going to be over soon? And then I'm already gotten deep and now it's over. Don't worry about that part. I mean, you can if you want to. I have many times. It's an interesting experience. You're certainly welcome to have that if you'd like it. You can also let that go. In fact, we can let it all go. The absolute opposite thing the silence is perfection. There is no perfect way to reach it. There is no perfect way you need to be. Being is perfect. It's perfect how it is. So we let go of any outer expectations, any inner expectations that I need to see or feel or do. And the inner or the outer may or may not change. However, we are allowing ourselves to be filled and for our eyes to be opened and our mind to be free to see what already is there. the truth that we are always lovable. We are safe. We are abundant. And everything is good. And that's the truth that we get to see when we get out of the way. And we remind ourselves that in that moment, we don't need to see, feel, do anything. We just need to be open to receive what's real. And we often see these demonstrations and get these grand insights on the other side of the meditation. So even if nothing happens while you're in it, and you think, well, that was just 5 minutes of what? 5 minutes of not into the ego. 5 minutes of not the limitations. 5 minutes of receptivity. You have no idea what that might do in 5 minutes from then, 10 minutes from then, 2 days from now. It's a gift you give your future self. So you're doing it just right. If you don't have anything, see anything, feel anything in that moment, you've made the space for the miracle of truth to arrive. You ever done a really large project? You got really big things to do. It takes a lot of details. Maybe you get stuck on things, have some indecision about big things, and you're just ruminating. Maybe you're up all night. Maybe it's with you all day and night. Ever had that moment and it's just too much and you think, okay, I'm going to bed. I'm going to go to bed right now. I can't do this anymore, Spirit. I don't know. We have to get out of our mind. And when you go to bed and you put yourself to sleep, then you wake up and, I don't know, even though you don't have the answer, it just seems to flow better. And all of a sudden you might get an inspiration. And it's way better than it was yesterday. Yeah, we're all like our devices. We need to be shut down and turned back on. We need to be reset. We need to disconnect to reconnect. We need to let our ego out and let Spirit fill. So why do we do this? Why are we going to try to do this really uncomfortable thing, sit in the silence? Why is it important to connect with our true identity? Why is it a problem just to live in sense consciousness? What's wrong with that? I think each and every one of us in this room know that we have this desire for something more. That's why we're here. There's something else that calls us, pulls us. We so want to touch what's on that other side. There's something deep we're all looking for. We don't know quite where to look, and we've looked a lot of places. That's why, and in fact, our chapter highlights my favorite part I'm going to read for us. Paul Hesselbeck in our chapter says, while living from sense consciousness, one can become aware of a longing for something higher. This longing is a kind of unrest that is fueled from the dissonance between who we think we are, Adam consciousness, a personality, an ego, and what we are, Christ. We are not satisfied with life as it manifests from sense consciousness. We're not. We are not satisfied with the search for things and projects to do. The psalmist once said, I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness. Psalm 17:15. Until we begin to go within consciousness, this oneness, Christ, nature, that's the only way to feel that true potential. This desire to know Christ's nature is frequently experienced as trying to get pleasure from things. This pleasure is fleeting, and it doesn't last, though we may try for many years. Eventually, we begin to feel empty and unsatisfied again and again, perhaps even enslaved by this process. We learn that things which fill our outer senses never truly satisfy us, and yet, like the moon reflects the light of the sun, this outer fulfilling of our desires is a reflection of our true nature to know oneness, this desire to know our divine nature. I don't know about you. Oh, there's the seeking Seeking, we're all seeking. I don't know about you, but I have felt that. And I too have tried to fill it with adventures and relationships, with achievements, and all types of things. I think we've all done that. And at times it's fulfilled in moments, and yet under there's still a desire, still something I'm wanting. That's what we're here to find. And our book does a great job highlighting that unity does not profess all truths. That's not what unity is about. And we know it. It's not the goal, is to tell you the truths of the universe. It's not the intention. Nor do we reveal all mysteries. That's not it either. In fact, it can only point the way to spiritual attainment so that we may go within and find the mysteries for ourselves. And that's the beautiful thing, is that we all can do this. There are mysteries for us to find. There is depths for us to feel and see, and this is a way forward. So I encourage you to take moments, little moments, big moments, to just connect from this outer world and leave some space for spirit to fill your consciousness, to connect, renew, and inspire you. So together, as we leave with this thought and think about ways we can have moments of stillness with spirit and get out of our own gosh darn way, let's say this affirmation together. Together. Resting in the silence renews my mind, body, and soul. And so it is. Thank you.
Wowee. That was a good one. Oh, I find in the morning, right after I wake up, I get up, I take my thyroid pill, I go right back to bed, and I get into that silence. I don't always manage. Try a little sometimes, but it's wonderful. It changes your life, doesn't it? So thank you so much for reminding us. It's so good, so good. Thank you so much. Kayla, we appreciate you. Yes, we appreciate her. Yes, so good. We're going to take our offering now, which is always exciting to get to give to this wonderful place so we can keep doing our thing and blessing our community. So there's different ways you can give, but we also have our ushers will come and take the offering, but we will first say our prayer, our offering prayer together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am abundantly prosperous in every way. And Lauren's going to come and sing and play, and we're going to enjoy that. Thank you, Lauren.
Always a joy to be here. Thanks for having me. Kayla's talk reminded me of, I think it was, may not have this exactly right, but I think it was Rubinstein who was being interviewed. And he said, what makes you shine, as a pianist, one of the top pianists? And he said something to the fact of it's not the notes, the correct notes, it's the space between the notes. And, to me, that really reflects what Kayla was talking about today. And I got to say, I feel like I have a job where I'm meditating almost the whole time, So I feel so blessed for that. And so I invite you, I'm going to play a song called Crystal Silence, which is by Chick Corea, who most of the time got the best piano player in the world in Keyboard Magazine. So I invite you to listen to the space between the notes, the space in life between the events, so to speak.
Thank you, Lauren. Okay. We're going to bless this offering together through Spirit. We know that as we give, so shall we receive. We dedicate and consecrate these gifts to do your will and your work in this center, in our lives, and in our community. And so it is. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're so glad you were here, and we appreciate each one of you so much. And right now we're going to get together and hold each other close. Oh, one more announcement, though. Next week, Reverend Sophia will be here up on our screen that we love, and she's going to be speaking about meditation. I'm always encouraging people, have you tried meditation? So this would be a great week to bring them in, and she will guide us along with the meditation. So if we could all get in a circle behind the cameras, hold each other's hands and each other in our hearts as we sing, Let There Be Peace and Aloha Oi.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony, perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with
And now we'll sing Aloha Oi together.
Aloha hoi, aloha hoi, eke ona ona no ikalipo. One fond embrace, ahoy ahia, until we meet again.
Have a wonderful week, everyone. Be sure to enjoy the refreshments after and the crystal healing that comes at noon. Have a wonderful week. Oh, and we need to move the chairs out, so grab your